Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Heads. We're at the US Open, the year's final major. I'm Craig Gabriel, and with me is the distinguished tennis writer and commentator Steve Flink, who this year was inducted into the International Tennis Hall of Fame. And we're going to be talking Sloane Stephens. Firstly, Steve, congratulations on that induction. I know it was a very special moment for you and your wife and family.
Yes, thanks. It sure was, Craig. July 22nd in Newport, Rhode Island, and nice to go in there in the same year as Andy Roddick and Kim Clijsters and the late Vic Braden. So it was a joyous day to be sure.
We're going to talk about Sloane Stephens, and she's come a long way since 2013 and the controversial moments at the Australian Open when she got to the semi-finals over there. But what a turnaround this has been in her career. She's been off the tour for a number of months with injury, and it's so nice to see that bubbly personality back on court again.
That's an excellent description of Sloane, I think, Craig, because yes, she is. She's effervescent and always has been, and I think that comes through to the crowds. And yes, the American crowds are always going to get behind the U.S. players at the U.S. Open in Arthur Ashe Stadium, but there's something special about the flavor of it all when she competes in there. I've always noticed that with her, and I think it's been a remarkable comeback. She was gone almost 11 months with this. It was a strange injury near her foot, and she had to wear a boot around there for a while, and finally came back at Wimbledon and lost in the first round. But over the summer, got to successive semifinals on the hard courts leading up to the U.S. Open, and has carried that form straight into this tournament and finds herself in the penultimate round. It's a wonderful run for Sloane Stephens.
Did you think, like I think a lot of other tennis commentators and writers might have considered that these months that she spent away was the end of her career and she might as well just give the game away?
Well, I didn't know whether it would go that far, but I certainly didn't expect her to come back to this extent, come back to this level where she might soon enough. Well, she'll be back in the top 35 after the tournament, almost for sure. That's the projection. And then maybe by the end of the year, we see her pushing into the top 20 again. I didn't expect that. I could have seen her continue to make a living and kind of wandering between 60 and 100 in the world, but I never would have seen this.
What do you think has been the turnaround? I mean, players come back from injuries, but what do you think has been the crux of her coming back the way she has?
I think just she cleared her head. She said to herself, look, stop worrying about your protected rankings. Stop getting too obsessed with all of that. You're lucky that you can be back on a tennis court playing this game for a living again. So don't get yourself all preoccupied with all of those other extraneous things. Just play the game, have fun with it. And that's really coming through. I think she's had fun this entire U.S. Open, and she's had some tough three-setters along the way, but has gotten through all of them.
That fun aspect. I mean, so many players don't enjoy it being on court. They find it a grind. They find the pressure too much to cope with. It's very difficult out there. But having fun on the court is what's so crucial in allowing the results to flow through. And as you just said, she is having that fun on the court.
Yeah, and I hope that she sustains that. I hope it doesn't change because suddenly the expectations grow and she's back in a semifinal, and if she were to lose a tough semifinal and get frustrated by that, I hope not. If she sustains that attitude, that's going to make a big difference. She can't be out there feeling overburdened by things and still succeed in this game.
But mentally, there's such a different attitude and outlook with her as well. And we've touched on this, spoken about this fun aspect. But how far do you think she can go with this comeback? Now that she's achieved so many semi-final showings and still not done, how far do you really think she can go?
Well, I look around. It's going to be tough because I look at the likes of Madison Keys or Coco Vandeweghe, the other American players, the enduring Venus Williams at 37. They all have, in some ways, bigger weapons than Sloane Stephens, but I do think she has one of the more impressive forehands we've seen in the women's game because of her footwork and her ability to hit winners on the run. She does that better than a lot of the other players. It's not a matter of hitting inside-out forehands with her that's the key. It's what she does with it on the dead run. And I think, she's improved her serve, and her backhand is also a little stronger than it used to be. So the framework is there, but the competition will only get more fierce as we go forward.
What about the time off court with her as well, and the importance of that? Because, yeah, she's had this time away and she's been with family and friends, and she was saying the other day it's given her an opportunity to go to weddings and baby showers and all that. How important is that aspect for her?
Well, I think that it was important in the way she reestablished herself in these recent weeks. What it will mean going forward, I don't know. But most players don't get that opportunity because they're not going to be gone for nearly a year in the prime of their career, and having this opportunity to then restart their careers, because that's what really Sloane Stephens has done. I hope she also gets very serious about achieving the big things too. Fun is one thing, and she must maintain that, but she also has to have serious goals and aspirations, and I get the feeling now that she does.
I want to end on something with Sloane that was, I thought, very funny in her post-match media conference after the last round. Scaredy cat. I mean, the bug that came on and really scared her to bits in the middle of a press conference was very, very amusing to watch.
Yeah, it was. I mean, nobody expected that reaction. You don't think somebody who can face big break points and be twice down a break in the third set of her quarterfinal at the U.S. Open is going to be that frightened by a bug. But that showed almost a girlish side of her, which I thought was very appealing, because she has a very tough side, but there's a tender side as well. We saw it there.
And on that point, she can have that girlish attitude about her off the court and be scared of bugs, but to keep that mental focus and that steel trap mind on the court, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely, and we'll see over the next 12 to 18 months if Sloane can sustain it. But I think she's really created a wonderful opportunity for herself to reemerge here and to play this game at the very highest levels.
Steve Flink, thank you very much for joining us on Talking Heads, talking about Sloane Stephens. And again, congratulations on your induction into the International Tennis Hall of Fame.
Craig, thank you very much. I appreciate it.